Hello class, welcome to Module 4. So in your Module 4 application, you're going to apply the steps of the instructional design process known as the IDE uh, model, basically analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. And you can use a graphic organizer such as storyboard, digital poster, or an infographic. So let me break this down into smaller chunks, which is a whole lot easier. All right, so if you notice where I have the highlighting, that is going to be the different sections, and I would highly recommend that you put place these like learning learning objectives rather. You know, all of these that have highlighted introductory activity, put them in whatever you decide to use, whether it's a poster, whether it's a storyboard, whatever infographic. And I'm going to show you that in just a second in Canva, how much easier it will be versus trying to do this in a Word document. I would not recommend it, trust me. It's going to look so much better. Plus, this is not a Word document. So they want you to use some form of technology for this this particular assignment. So let me walk through each one of these, and I'm not going to read everything, but just so you'll see, I just kind of skimmed it down because too much text can be overwhelming when you're trying to get through some instructions. So I try to keep it simple. Under Analyze, you're going to do these bullet points. You're going to complete these. Make sure you answer each one of these. And it doesn't necessarily, because I have it in bullet points, I'm not saying you put yours in bullet points. I mean, although it can be, it's just, you know, it's up to you. I definitely want you to address each one of these. And by the way, I'm going to mention this again at the end. Make sure you're including APA citations and references, and you need a variety of scholarly references, by the way, citations and references. And again, I'll point that out at the end. Then there's the design. So they want you to complete several different activities for delivery to diverse learners. Okay, they didn't actually complete that statement under design, but if you go back to the opening paragraph, that's what it's talking about. Okay, if you were wondering, complete several activities, what exactly does that mean? Who is the audience? Blah blah blah. All kind of thoughts ran through my mind. So think in terms of differentiated activities. Okay, let's just keep it simple. And you can add pages, which you will have to add pages to your product, like if it's an infographic or if it's a storyboard uh, or a poster template that you decide to use in one of the forms of technology that are out there. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Overview and purpose, you're going to answer these. You need 2 to 3 measurable learning objectives using Bloom's verbs. You should know where to find Bloom's verbs. Come on now. Introductory activity, you're going to answer that question and then describe. You got your content and skills acquisition. Like I said, I'm not going to go through all of these, but you need to make sure you respond. You address all of the different pieces that are under each one of these sections. Same thing here in application, same thing here in assessment. And follow up, what strategies will you use for those learners who do not acquire the necessary content and skills? How are you going to follow up? What kind of follow-up activity are you going to use? That's what they're talking about. Either implement or describe how you will implement the learning experience. Let me see. What kind of hook are you going to use? How you going to start this activity? All right. Evaluate, describe how you gathered or will gather feedback on the effectiveness of the learning experience, and whether it was in person or virtual. And then of course you're going to describe how you used or will use the feedback to modify the learning experience to improve instruction. And then finally, make sure you include references. Again, variety of scholarly citations and references. Where you getting that from, Dr. Fish? Pay close attention to the rubric. Trust me, it's there. It's actually under the third criteria. It says keyword variety. I've been preaching to the choir since module 1, okay? And make sure you're using scholarly citations. Where do you get them from? You get scholarly citations from the library database. These are peer-reviewed articles that you need to include. And variety is not one. Variety to me is definitely not 2. Okay, it's as many as possible. So you need to do your research. All right, and then finally you're going to submit. I highly recommend that you submit it. If you're using Canva, submit it as a PDF doc. So let me show you how to do this, or how to go about in Canva. If you don't already have a free account, you should have a free account. Sign up with your school email. It'll give you access, and I think it's going to ask you at some point when you sign up. It's been a long time since I've done it, but it'll probably ask you to confirm your school, address, and once they confirm it, you'll have access to all the bells and whistles. So they said a poster. Let's go back to the beginning. So they said you have a choice: storyboard, poster, or infographic. So let me show you here in Canva how easy it will be. So let's say you decide to go with a storyboard. So I'm going to type storyboard. Notice it kind of pops up right there. So I'm going to click on it and look for a storyboard. And I'm going to find a template that I like, but I'm not going to use this. I'm going to wait till we get to the infographic. I'm going to show you really how easy this can be. So you can use whatever storyboard you want. Okay, it's up to you if you want to go with a storyboard. It also said poster. So I type poster up there, and you find a poster. And like I said, keep in mind you're going to have to add pages to whatever template you decide to go with. But I'm going to show you an infographic. And what I'm getting ready to show you is going to work the same way for whether you choose a poster, storyboard, or infographic. All right, so let's say we come here and you're looking for a storyboard that you really like. Okay, it's up to you, whichever one you want to go with. Doesn't matter, but yeah, just make sure it's something I can actually read, by the way, that I can actually make out. But you can change whatever you want to change. So I'm going to click on this one. And I'm going to click on customize this template. So it's going to bring this template up. And when it brings it up, of course, it's going to be kind of small. You can resize it to your own liking, to where you can actually see, what you're doing. And you can change whatever you want to change. So, you take out whatever, and maybe, I don't know what you want to call this. Let me see. We can call it, I don't know. It's up to you. I'm just going to come in here and grab something. Learning experience for whatever, diverse learners or something like that. So I'm just going to grab this real quick. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to paste it in. Now, notice it is kind of large. It's overlapping. You don't want that to happen. I'm actually glad this did happen. Right here, you can minimize it because you don't want anything to be over. And still doing it. I know how to fix it. Let me come back and I'm going to just grab this right here. Slide this back in. Notice I got a double-sided arrow. And slide that back in. So you want to keep everything inside the infographic. So yeah, I'm glad that happened. You don't have to call yours that. It's up to you, whatever you want to call it. And here you can always just put your name if you want to. It's up to you. And then you can start with that first heading that I told you about. The first heading is going to be analyzing. So you'll be answering all of those right in there for analyze. And if that's not big enough, um, basically, you're going to probably have to go to the second one. You don't have to keep a second. Once you put a first heading up here, you don't need to have a second heading in here. It'll be understood that this belongs to this piece up here. You can take these pictures out if you don't need them. Anything you don't need, just click on it and delete it. And like I said, you can stretch this out. You can move this around. Notice how when I'm moving that, there's a line that appears right there in the middle. That dash, that lets you know that it's centered. That's all that is. All right. So you can keep going. Like I say, change pictures. All your options are over here. Okay. If you wanted to add some photos, you can come in here and type. Like if you wanted to put a photo, I definitely want to see some graphics, by the way. Please. As opposed to just all text and no pictures at all. Just be creative. That's all I'm trying to say. So you can add, if you needed to add some kind of text in here, but everything should be in here already for you to kind of go through. And like I say, you may not want to go with the one that I just chose. You may want to go with a different one that gives you a little bit more room. Okay, and again, you can resize your text up here, so don't forget that. Here's what I want to get to. You can add a page. You will be definitely adding a page. Like I said, please don't try to pack everything in one page of an infographic. It's not going to fit. Don't try to pack everything if you decide to go with a storyboard, okay, or a poster. It's not going to fit all on one page. So what I just showed you in adding a page, you'll probably be adding multiple pages. What I just showed you basically applies to all of them. And whatever you don't need, like that right there, please just delete whatever you don't need in here. Now, when we added this second page, I'm going to go back to design. And the design that you put in that first page, you want the same design in the second one. Don't put a different design in there in the second one. All you got to do is come over here to your design. Look for it. It should be the first one. Should say recently used. Click on it. And then it'll pop it back in there. So that'll be the same design throughout. So you're going to probably, like I said, add multiple pages. What if I need another page? Same thing is down here. Now, here's the part that I want to get to, and then I'll be done. And that is, how do you share this with me? I highly recommend please sharing this as a PDF doc. And the reason why I say please share it as a PDF doc, because here's what students tend to forget when they try to share it with me as a link. So I'm going to click on share up here in the right hand corner. Oftentimes what students do when they click share, they simply click copy link without reading what it says right there. Link sharing restricted, only you can access it. So when I go to click on the link to grade your assignment, I cannot see it. It's going to block me, or it's going to say ask for permission, and I'm not going to ask for permission. I'll send you an email and let you know I can't grade your assignment. Okay, I tried to say this up front, so I don't recommend using it. Yes, you can change this to anyone with the link. That's wonderful. But to avoid all of that headache, please come down here to download. Okay, please go to download. And it's going to come in as a PDF doc. And it's going to download how many ever number of pages you already, you have. You don't have to change anything in here. Click download. It's going to download. Just give it a second. And then it'll pop up. And if it doesn't, you may have to go and search for your download. But it should pop up. Windows should pop it up. And there it is. And then now all you have to do is go to, file, save as. And once you save it, you come back over here to, you come back into the assignment, the Dropbox, and you submit it. In other words, you submit it in the course. All right. So if you have any questions, like I said, please make sure you're including a variety of scholarly sources. It's right there. That is very important. It's the most overlooked part of the rubric. pay very close attention to the whole rubric, but that piece right in there, that's what students tend to miss, and you end up losing points. So again, if you have any questions, any concerns, let me know. I'm here for you. Chat with you soon.